Well, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? That's not a lot of energy. How are you doing today?
Lovely.
All right, give the person on the side of your high five. That's right. You're happy.
Go across.
Good morning. You're here. It's another Clemson football season. That's going to be even more awesome than the last one. It's really a delight to meet you all. So my name is Blair. I'm a professor here at Clemson in the economics department. And hopefully you registered for Econ 4110 or 6110. Are you guys all in the right room? Yeah? Yes. I see some confused looks. Okay, this course is on the economics of education. And so just before we dive into the syllabus, everybody has a copy of the syllabus and the handout? Okay, awesome. So just before we do that, I'll give you a little bit of background about myself, and then what we'll do is we'll go around the room and just get to find out who is here, so that way you know each other too. One of the things that I'm going to emphasize in this class is there's going to be a lot of teamwork, working together with each other, because you actually learn a ton from working with each other. So I had a graduate course that I taught last semester, and the results were just phenomenal in terms of seeing how engaged the students were, how much they got to trust each other, and also how much they got to learn in terms of economics. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself. So again, my name is Blair. I'm a professor here. This is my second year here at Clemson. But I absolutely love it. I love the barbecue. I love the football. I love the weather. I love the people that say hello to you when you're in the grocery store. It's all good. And so I did my PhD in economics, and I also did a master's in physics. I'm hybrid scientist, hybrid economist, but more so economist now. And I'm very excited about this course. So one of the areas of research that I do is on the economics of education. And in particular, I'm focused on higher education, so colleges. I'm very interested in who do they let in. I'm very interested in how are colleges funded. I'm very interested in what do colleges produce for society and also for the people that come there too. Each of you here are at college pursuing a degree, right? So just by the very nature that you're here, this course is going to be interesting to you because you're going to get a sense of, well, why is it that I came here? Did I come here just to get a piece of paper that's at Clemson? Did I come here to actually get an education where I have actual human capital and skills that I can take to the labor market? Or did I come here to socialize and like watch football games? And I'm sure that it's some like combination of all of those things. So what we'll do to make this get to know you kind of like fun and interesting is I want you guys to pair up, and you're going to find out from the person that's closest to you what their name is, what year they are, and why they're taking this class. And then when we go around the room, you're going to introduce each other. So you're not going to introduce yourself, but you're going to introduce your partner. So take like 20 to 30 seconds to do that. Go.
Figure something out. I don't know if that works.
I'll be your partner down there.
All right.
What's your name? You're also senior, like in class. Good chat.
Where are you from?
Usually. Florida's on my top 10 stable states.
I think.
I'm just not a big fan of the animals.
I was listening, I had some
I can understand why other people would, but it's
The other thing too is, even though like we're closer enough later, where I live is in the peninsula, so it's cooler than Clemson. Like I come north and it's hotter. So, and I hate it here because it's way hotter than it is in the south.
That's kind of like my grandpa lives in Charleston. Well, it gets humid, but like.
I mean, there is humidity. That's what happens. Like the water keeps you cool. Like there's a lot of water in the air.
y'all have fun facts.
One of my friends has visited like twice.
No, it's
Mine Russian major.
That's fine. Adding new
Yeah. Oh, did you like a fun
They tried to do it.
So anyway, Anna's senior accounting class. What were all the things you said?
I don't know, what's the name? Old hometown, maybe. I threw in cereal, but I think
Alright, so what we're gonna do
what's
is, we are gonna go from last here, and we'll make the outer loop, and then when we make the outer loop, then we'll make the inner loop. So,
This is Charles, he's a senior econ major, and he just thought it's an interesting course.
This is Bailey. She's a senior econ major, and she wanted to take this, and she wanted to learn about types of education.
This is Jeff, he's a senior, and we want to take this something interesting.
This is Neil, he's a senior econ major, and he's interested in teaching someday, so that's why he's here.
This is Jenna, she's a senior econ major, and she thought it was the most interesting econ class available, so
This is Michael, he's a senior economics major, and he took it because it sounded interesting.
this is Tim, he's from Hartford, Connecticut.
did we miss someone there?
Oh, yeah, sorry. We missed Mike, he's a senior econ major from Massachusetts.
Oh, so it's two mics?
Yeah.
So Mike and Mike, and then Anna, okay.
Sorry, I was too excited. This is Tim, he's from Connecticut, he's a senior econ major, and he took this class because he loves education.
This is Jared. He's a senior econ and environmental science major from Washington, D.C. And he took this class because he thought it was interesting.
This is Ram from Atlanta. He's a senior economics major, and he took this class because he also likes education.
Hi, this is Craig. He's a senior econ major from Camden, and he took it because he thought it was interesting.
That's Camden, New Jersey?
No, South
Kansas.
Carolina. No.
This is Andrew. He's an econ senior, and he thought it sounded interesting.
This is Joey, he's a senior econ major, and he thought this class is interesting.
This is Miles, he's a senior economics major from New Jersey, and he took this class because he needed another economics class, and he thought this one was interesting.
This is Allie. She's from Georgia. She's also a senior economics major. She took this class because she needed to to graduate, and she thought this was somewhere available, and she had an internship in Nevada.
This is in Providence.
Yes, Providence.
Very nice, did you like it?
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yes, and I just was in Rhode Island this summer too for the first time.
This is Andrew. He just moved up here from Georgia. He is in the Masters of Applied Econ Statistics program. Thought this course sounded interesting, and fun.
And this is Chris in the Math of Science and Applied Economics and Statistics, and he's interested in the policy surrounding education and education.
I already went.
Oh, you already went?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Hannah from Boston. She's a senior accounting major. She took this class because she wants to be a teacher.
This is Connor. He's a senior econ major from St. Petersburg, Florida, and he thought it sounded fascinating.
That's a good twist.
Really, it's a synonym to what he said.
This is Anna. She's a senior econ major from England, and she took this class because I'm in this class.
This is Alex. He's a senior econ major. He's from Charleston, and he'd like to be a professor.
This is Anna. She's from Easley. She's taking this course because she's a senior. She wants to graduate.
This is Tom. He's a senior economics major, and he He's from Maryland and he took this course because he needed an econ credit and thought it was interesting.
This is Claire. She's from New York. She's a Bachelor of Science, Economics. She took this course because she's interested in economic development for education.
This is Allie. She's a senior and she took this class because it sounded interesting.
And this is Gabby. She's a senior and she had in one class a little section about the economics of education. She thought it was cool, so now she's taking it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And I think that this class is very interesting too, which is why I'm teaching it. And I'm very excited to have all of you here. So what we'll do, before we dive into the syllabus, what I'll do is I'll take you through like a couple of very striking facts about education. So why is it that we think education is both interesting and important to study in class? And then after we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to pivot towards the syllabus. We're going to talk about the nuts and bolts of the course. And then if we have some time at the end to see that second handout that you have, what we'll do is we'll go through a recent op-ed that was in the Washington Post about education in North Carolina. And so there's always lots of discussion in the policy sphere about what's happening with education, right? No child left behind, you have folks talking about are unions good, are unions bad? And so what this course is really going to do is give us the tools to be able to empirically assess some of these questions. And then also I want us to, when we step out of this class, to be able to engage in some of these policy debates from a very empirically grounded, substantive place. Okay, so this first figure that I want to show you. So what does this look at? Is it documents. Let me make this a little bit larger. Oh, in business. Okay, great. So this is a figure of, can everybody see this? Is this big enough? So this is a figure of median earnings of full-time workers who are 25 years or older, and it's broken down by different levels of educational attainment. So this is the average over all different educational levels. This is for folks who have some education. This is for folks with high school education, folks with an associate's degree. This is for you guys with bachelor's degrees, who will have bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. And the black columns are going to be for males, and the shaded columns are going to be for females. So what we see is that the average salaries are around $51,000 for men, about $40,000 for women. Now when we look across the education distribution, what we see is that's about, the average person is going to be earning the same as somebody with an associate's degree. For folks who have some high school or they've just completed high school, they're going to earn substantially less than what the average earnings are going to be. And so the key takeaway from this profile is both for men in the black and for women in the shaded regions, you see that average earnings are going to be increasing with education, right? And so you might say, well, why might we want to get an education just looking at this graph? Any takers? And this is going to be a very participatory class. To make more income. How many people are coming to Clemson so that you can make more money? Okay, good. Now, buried in this too is going to be something very interesting, which is that the types of people that go to college are also high ability people. And so some of the difference in these earnings could be due to college, but some of that difference could also be due to the fact that these are just really smart people who choose to go to college, right? And a big part of the course is going to be trying to separate out these two factors. How much of the degree is actually human capital? So this is you going to school, you learning something that the market is going to value. And if you had not gone to school, you would not have this human capital. And how much of this is just signaling? It's just telling folks that, hey, I'm a really smart person. One thing that's really consistent with the story of signaling is you might graduate from Clemson with a degree in philosophy and get a job working in accounting or banking, or get a job working in marketing, some completely unrelated industry. Why? Because they think that you're a smart person because you went to college. So continue to keep that in your mind. This rationale for getting an education, part of it has to do with the higher wages that you earn, but then also we have to think about what we in economics call selection. The types of people that choose to get a college degree. It's not a random sample of people, but it's a particular type of folk. So this curve here now looks at labor force participation. And so this is going to document whether you're employed, and so this is in the blue, whether you're unemployed or discouraged. So a discouraged worker is somebody who is not looking for a job. And then in the green is going to be folks that are not in the labor force. And again, it's broken down by various levels of education. So high school dropout, high school grad, some college, associates or technical degree, a bachelor's in defense. And what do we observe is the following. The probability or the fraction of people that are employed is increasing in the level of education, right? The unemployment rate is more or less decreasing in education. There's a little bit of a mix-up when we go from this column, we go from this column to that column, this column to this column. And also the labor force participation rate is going to be, not in the labor force, is going to be decreasing in the amount of college that you have. And so folks who have more education, it seems, they're more likely to have a job, less likely not to have a job, and more likely to be in the labor market. Let me throw out a little bit of terminology here. So these sorts of things we call in economics the extensive margin. So it's like, am I in the market or out of the market? The intensive margin is like conditional, like given that I'm in the market, how much do I make? Right? And so I'm just throwing out this terminology because we might circle back to this a bit later on in the course. Okay. I want to show you this another figure